Hi, my name is Maria Elena Borrego and I'm doing my project file on Gloria Anzaldúa. Gloria Anzaldúa was an author, so my subject file will be comprised of her must-read works. The first text that I included was How to Tame a Wild Tongue from her book Borderlands La Frontera. I think that if you're going to read one chapter from Borderlands, it should be How to Tame a Wild Tongue. For me personally, it was the most influential from the entire book, and it's gone on to be published as an essay on its own. The next source that I included in my bibliography was from the Gloria Anzaldúa course feeder, and it's useful terms for approaching Gloria Anzaldúa's writing. So aside from being just a writer, she was also a social theorist, so she did come up with several terms like the mestiza consciousness, and this file breaks down everything that those terms mean, and it makes it really palatable, and it's a great way to get started with her reading. The next source that I included was Don't Give In Chicanita and No Se Raje Chicanita. And I've included these two poems because they're translated versions of each other, so it would be really great in an ESL setting, but it's also really great to talk about who gets translated, what does it mean to be translated, and it shows the importance of word choice in poetry. The next source I've included is another poem from Borderlands, which is To Live in the Borderlands Means You. And this poem specifically highlights a lot of intersectional thinking. She talks about navigating all these different identities while living in the borderlands. Another source that I've included is Speaking in Tongues, a letter to third world writers. This was a very personal, loving letter to other women writers, and she talks about the struggle of being a woman writer, but particularly being a woman writer of color. So the next source I included is a little bit different from the typical discourse around Gloria Anzaldúa. It's titled Recovering Gloria Anzaldúa's Sci-Fi Roots. This I felt was a very interesting approach to Gloria Anzaldúa because she's often discussing like feminist critiques or classes, and this one is coming at it from a sci-fi angle. And I didn't realize that she actually wrote a lot of science fiction short stories, so it's a really interesting new approach to her work. The next source that I included was La Prieta, and that's one of her essays from the bridge called My Back, Writings by Radical Women of Color. And the last source that I included was the introduction to Making Face and Making Soul. So these are my must-read works by Gloria Anzaldúa.